Do you know what it means to be an owner? Do you know the steps required for ownership? Today we're going to talk about 3 important steps for you to really be on one.
When things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to be.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing this Wednesday, September 30th? It's the last day of the month. We made it. Hope everybody's in a good place, in a safe space. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's conversation as we talked about, are you a renter or are you an owner? Hope I made you a little uncomfortable yesterday, but we'll get a little more comfortable today as we talk about it's time to clean your closet, 3 steps to ownership. So I'm looking very much forward to ownership. 6 weeks and I'll be up out of here, transitioning from renting to being an owner. And it made me take a step back and think about all the steps that were required for me to transition from rentership to ownership. And this is really applicable to life. I'll use the 4-flat building I'm about to walk into here soon as an example. So let's talk about it. Let's get to work. So there's 3 steps to clean out your closet before you can ever figure out if you even want to own something. If you want to own your life, unless you just got oodles of cash and a whole bunch of time on your hands, it's going to be very hard for you to own something. If you got oodles of cash, I look up to you. God bless you. But most of us don't. So we'll talk about the 3 things you got to figure out first. 1, do you even want to own something? That one thing that you want to create for your life, to create that juicy life, do you want to own it or are you just playing with it? You know you're good at it. You want to be great? You got to understand, do you even want to own it? Next, you got to understand, what are the steps required to own it? What are the steps required to acquire ownership? And last but not least, what sacrifice are you willing to make? So we'll walk through this 4-flat building. First, I understood I wanted it. That was no question. The second step was a little bit gray for me because there was a trifecta going on in my life. Answering the question, do I know what's required to acquire ownership? That was a little bit gray for me because I just lost my 6-figure gig. And then, of course, we're in a pandemic and it's a 4-flat building in Chicagoland. The complexity there was quite high. But I said, you know what? I want to do number 1. I want to own it. And I damn sure want to do number 2 and figure it out. And once I figured out those steps, the last piece was the most important, the sacrifice. Everything comes with the price, the sacrifice. They said, you got to give up 6 figures to get this building. I said, oh my gosh, I had to make a serious decision. I thought about it. Didn't think too long. I put all my chips in, everything I had. Every building I had in my portfolio, I put all my chips in to get this building because I knew in a good 5 to 10 years, it's going to be a 7-figure building. Ownership. Are you ready to own one? Are you going to be on one with me? You got to figure these things out before you even decide. Stop tiptoeing around the pool. If you really want to own something, you got to go face in. You got to dive all the way in, full submersion. There's a lot of people out there just poking their fingers in the water, putting their toes in it. If you really want to be on one with me, I want you to come on. And if not, you can keep renting. There's nothing wrong with that, but we about to go by you. We about to take this into the atmosphere. I hope you like this enough to subscribe. Get you some. I'll talk to you tomorrow, everybody. Take care.
When things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know